I understand, Valencia. Do what you must to find your friend.
I owe you a debt of gratitude for coming to my aid. It seems once again that Lady Arabelle chose well. Now to see if I can find Guild General Quentin, and by extension, the rogue knights who carried him away. I enchanted the invitation medallions that each delegate carries, so I can trace my own magic to locate Quentin. Now let me see. They moved north and east, across the loch. I see a chapel, crypts, maybe abandoned? No question. Quentin is there. Lady Arabelle asked me to try as soon as we realized the ships were late. I wasn't able to make a connection with those medallions. Maybe they were too far away, or some other magic interfered with my scrying, but I wasn't able to detect anything. No, we need to return to Lady Arabelle and share this information. Then we can mount a rescue for Guild General Quentin. I'll meet you at Lady Arabelle's little pavilion. What she calls her field office, I believe. Report back to Lady Arabelle and tell her about Quentin's plight. I'll be along shortly. I want to try to convince Ravana to take shelter at Stonelaw Grove one more time. While the Ascendant Order is active, she is in danger out here by herself.
Best of luck finding your friend. A rogue order of knights causing havoc across the island is bad enough, but this sounds worse than I imagined. A dark storm gathers over High Isle. I will warn my circle and ask them to be on guard.
That sounds like a Bane chapel, but only one medallion is there. Valencia apprised me of the situation. I believe I know the place where she thinks they're holding Quentin. It must be the crypts below a Bane chapel on the northern shore of the loch. Will you accompany us on this rescue mission, my dear? Smashing. This will be like that time I pulled General Gautier out of a Reach stronghold during the border raids of 566. Now that was an adventure. Anyway, it's too bad Valencia couldn't scry the locations of the other missing delegates. I suppose you've earned the truth, and you certainly deserve my complete confidence. The 3 ships carried High King Emmerich, Queen Irene, and Prince Ernskar, son of Yoren the Skald King. I dare say I've misplaced the leaders of Tamriel. I said you deserve the truth. Lord Bacaro invited the Alliance leaders here for peace talks. He hopes to end the Three Banners War. If we find Quentin with the Ascendant Order, we may find our missing royals. Meet me at the chapel north of the loch. We'll rendezvous at a Bane chapel on the north side of the loch. I've already sent an operative ahead to scout the area. Be prepared to defend yourself. The Ascendant Order won't give up Guild General Quentin without a fight. Whatever the situation, I won't abandon Quentin to his fate. Oh, that's good. Let me write that down. Besides, we have to risk it. Both to save Quentin and to see if we can learn anything about the missing Alliance leaders. We know their medallions aren't there, but they could have lost them at sea. Regardless, if the Ascendant Order uses the chapel as a hideout, we may learn something about their plans. Or a clue as to where to search for the Alliance leaders, perhaps. Not a student of politics, my dear. I understand completely. They're the leaders of the Alliances vying for the Ruby Throne. Well, Irene and Emmerich lead 2 of the Alliances. Ernskar is the son of Yoren the Skald King, who leads the 3rd. You poor dear. You must pay more attention to current events. Queen Irene leads the Aldmeri Dominion. High King Emmerich, the Daggerfall Covenant, and Prince Ernskar represents the Ebonheart Pact, the opponents in the aptly named Three Banners War.
I'm sure the Ascendant Order won't just let us walk in and take Quentin back. It's a good thing that you're coming with us. I have no great talent for the more destructive schools of magic.
There. It's open. Got any more locks you need picked? How about you, Valencia?
I think not, thank you.
Now's not the time, Jakan. Let's see what awaits us down in the crypts.
I can't pinpoint the exact location of Quentin's medallion. He could be anywhere in here.
I'll scout ahead. Maybe someone should watch the door in case anyone follows us.
I'll keep watch. Be careful.
Aw, I knew you cared.
Quentin is our priority, but keep your eyes open. Who knows what the Ascendant Order left lying about?
I'll keep watch. My scrying has led us here, but I won't be able to get us any closer. I hope you find Quentin and that he's all right. Be safe.
Let's take a look around, carefully. Guild General Quentin is here somewhere, and we might be able to find out more about what the Ascendant Order is really after on High Isle. Ascendant Order propaganda. Don't be taken in. They are not as benevolent as they want you to think. No sign of Quentin yet, though. Pay no attention to the Ascendant... Pay no attention to the Ascendant Order's lies. They work in the shadows to undermine the ruling bodies of Tamriel, and they don't care who gets hurt. Keep searching. See if you can find where they're holding Quentin. The Ascendant Order has the captains of our missing ships. But where are the Alliance leaders? First things first, clear the path to the South Crypts, please. We must rescue the captains and hope that Quentin is with them.
Lady Arabelle.
Colleen, Zaji, Zuzo. Thank the Divines you're all right. But where are the delegates?
Apologies, my lady. We lost our charges.
Zaji is not all right.
Not to spoil the reunion, but we're about to get company.
Jakan, free the captains. Friend, keep the Ascendant Order at bay. Buy us some time.
Thing won't... Wait, got it!
Collect Valencia and get the captains to safety, Jakan. We'll find Quentin.
The Knights took Quentin away not long ago. I think they're questioning him now.
Then we must hurry. Come, my friend. Jakan and Valencia can get the captain safely away from here, but we still need to find Quentin. Captain Colleen said he was being taken for questioning. We should keep looking. Down there. It's Quentin. Let's listen and try to figure out what's going on.
A new age of peace is upon us. An age of free peoples, standing together, not kneeling to distant thrones.
This is not your war, General. What say you?
The war took everything from me. I am with you. How can I help?
The Order is trying to recruit Quentin? We have to put a stop to this. I don't know what to make of that. Quentin is clever enough to feign an interest in joining them, but that didn't feel like an act. He lost his wife in the war, and he never got over that. Still, we can't leave him here with those terrorists.
Each delegate carries a medallion like this one, Magus. It serves as both an invitation and a key.
Keep it. We may need your access later. Right now, I want you to kill the meddling investigator nipping at our heels.
Lady Arabelle? But she's...
No longer working alone. She's found some capable help. Deal with them.
Oh, Quentin. I guess you've made your choice.
Here is your chance, Quentin. Stop these fools and strike a blow for the people.
I'm sorry, Lady Arabelle, but I have made my choice. For the Ascendant
Do
Order!
what you must. We can't allow the General to stop us. I'm sorry it came to that, but well fought, my friend. Let's speak outside. The Ascendant Magus disappeared while Quentin kept us busy, and the Ascendant Lord left before that. I doubt we'll catch either of them now. Come, let's leave this place. There's nothing more for us here. I didn't expect Guild General Quentin to turn on us, and I certainly didn't desire his death. It seems sympathy for the Ascendant Order is more widespread than I knew. We must be cautious, particularly with whom we choose to trust going forward. Do I expect it? No. But that doesn't mean we should let our guard down. This venture wasn't a complete failure, though. We rescued the captains of our missing ships. We need to find out what happened at sea and what befell the Alliance leaders. To Mandrake Manor, my home in Gonfalon Bay. I'll mark it on your map. Jakan, Valencia, and I have been using my townhouse as a base of operations. I'm confident that it is as safe from the Ascended Order as any other location we might choose. Oh, the name comes from a book I'm rather fond of. I bought the manor to serve as my home in retirement, and I keep a few mementos of my career there. Meet me there, my dear, and we'll see what our rescued captains have to say about all this. To think the Ascendant Order accomplished all this. I thought the plans I'd put in place were so clever. How far does this Ascendant Lord and his Magus' reach extend, I wonder? Let's speak further at Mandrake Manor. I'll see you there. Ah, there you are. Go inside and talk to Captain Colleen. Find out what happened at sea. I need a moment to collect my thoughts.
Must Zaji tell this sad story again? The last Zaji saw of Queen Irene, she was struggling to launch a damaged skiff. Then Zaji was swept away in the storm. Zaji was entrusted with getting her safely to High Isle, but he lost her and Koska. Zaji must admit, he was sleeping in his cabin when the storm hit. He woke up when cold water climbed into bed with him. The next thing Zaji knows, he is being fished out of the sea by strange knights. I'm saved, Zaji thinks. Then they tied me up! The annoying knights, yes. Zaji heard the commander talking. The Lord, they called him. He was angry the Alliance leaders did not wash ashore with Zaji. Zaji did not see the Lord's face, but he spoke like a Breton noble. Zaji could hear it. Zaji lost Queen Irene, and first mate Casca too. The wind and the waves must have carried them somewhere else. The Lord and the Magus, the Order's leaders, they swore to comb every beach until they found her. And the others too, Zaji supposes.
I thank you for my rescue. I do not think the Ascendant Order had any more use for me. Once they realized I could not tell them what became of Prince Ernskar, they dragged me back to the cell. I remember it like the ripples in my favorite pond. A storm blew up without warning. My ship was driven onto the rocks near Aminos and broke apart. All were cast into the sea. When we reached shore, those rogue knights grabbed us. I did not see what became of him. He might have been trapped in the part of the ship that was swept away. Or maybe the currents carried him to a different part of the shore. Or he might have drowned. I know that many of my crew did.
I honestly didn't think we'd ever leave that cell alive. I owe you a debt of gratitude, friend. We all do. And I owe Dockmaster of Gonfalon Bay payment of a different kind. I visit High Isle often, and I considered Arnold a friend. Bah! An armored mage and a gang of ruffians were waiting at the shallows. They clubbed down all who made it ashore. Dockmaster Arnold showed up, and I thought we were saved. But the mage, a Brent noble by his voice, paid him to walk away and leave. We were nearing landfall when a huge storm swept out of nowhere. I looked for the light at Gonfalon Head, but the lighthouse was dark. We were blown off course, crashed upon some rocks. I lost sight of High King Emmerich, but somehow made it to shore. I'm not sure. I didn't see any of the royals when I waded ashore, and I was the last one from my ship to make it to the beach. The tide turned as I swam in, and no one was washed up after me. I'm afraid you won't find the High King at the shallows.
You know, the crypts didn't seem to be the Ascendant Order's main base of operations. I say the next step is to find out who they are under those helms and where they're hiding. But I'm not in charge here. Better talk to Lady Arabelle, I guess.
Speak with Lady Arabelle, friend. Tell her what the captain's revealed to you. I'm sure she can image a way forward.
Over here, dear. We have much to do. I adore this view. Isn't the Colossus a wondrous sight? Still, gazing upon it does nothing to quell my anxiety. Somehow the Ascendant Order learned not only about our secret peace talks, but that the Alliance leaders were going to attend. And neither do we. We're not even sure they're still alive, but we must hope. Your help has been invaluable thus far, my dear. and you've earned every piece of gold in this pouch. We'll find the Alliance leaders and unmask the Order. We have to. Just as the Colossus watches over Gonfalon Bay, I was supposed to keep the Alliance leaders safe. I failed in that, but at least they aren't in the Ascendant Order's hands. Not yet, anyway. What did Captain Colleen and the others have to say, dear? Breton nobles? Yes. We heard that as well when the Ascendant Lord and the Magus were speaking in the crypts. That's something to go on. And if the Alliance leaders didn't end up in the Shallows, we'll need to look elsewhere. What else, dear? Well, that's a lead we can investigate. I'd like to have a chat with Dockmaster Arnauld about that and a great many other things. I detest being lied to, and he did it with such conviction. You're still on retainer, dear. Would you care to join me? The Dockmaster's home overlooks the harbor to the west. Jakan and I will meet you there. First Quentin, now this. I hardly know who to trust. Times like these, I take a moment to contemplate the Colossus in the harbor. It helps clear my thoughts. That's one of the wonders of the archipelago, dear. The locals are very proud of their statue, even if few of them know the real story behind who it represents. I like it as well. One of the reasons I bought the manor. Such a spectacular view. The Colossus of Gonfalon Bay is Baron Admiral Bendu Olo, though most on the mainland would know him as the Colovian King of Anvil. He formed the All-Flags Navy around 2260 in the First Era to gain vengeance against the Slode for the Thracian Plague. The largest allied naval force in Tamrielic history. Ships from every nation and province participated, and many of the vessels were built right here on High Isle. The fleet launched from here and rained destruction upon Thras for their treachery. Nothing, my dear, but you asked. Lord Bakara selected High Isle for the peace talks because of that history, though. The All-Flags Navy recalls a time when disparate people united in common cause. He hopes to inspire the delegates to do the same.
You there! Can we speak for a moment? You look healthy. Walking about on your own, no shadows in your eyes. You're better off than most of the patients here, which means you're just who I need. Our patients have fallen prey to a strange malady. We could use some help. Ah, good. Then I can skip trying to convince you. But I promise to pay fairly should we succeed. I need to track down this affliction's source. Only patients at the manor seem affected. So I assume the cause must be nearby. Sadly, very little. The menders stay busy tending to the afflicted, and the patients don't quite trust me enough to talk freely. So I need you. If you track down the cause of this malady, perhaps the menders can do something about it. I'd suggest you talk to some patients who are feeling its effects. Try Arabil Vuls by the fountain, or Malagi. He likes to watch the sea. Oh, and speak with Mender Talil, too. She's inside. I'll be waiting upstairs when you're done. I can give a first-hand report. The first symptom is the nightmares. I'm familiar with dreams of war, but these were somehow more horrible. I remember eyes around me, peering from darkness, and screaming. Constant. Other patients have fevers and fits of shaking. Some become confused, believing themselves back on the battlefield. I had to subdue a dark elf who turned on a mender. Seeing the others like that, I hope that's not where I'm headed. Fortunately, no. I'm lucky, though I dread the day when it comes for me. The malady doesn't seem to strike the same way twice. That's one of the factors that has confused the healers here. The manor belongs to Lord Bacaro Valoris. He formed the Society of the Steadfast to work for an end to the Three Banners War. The Society brings wounded soldiers from all sides here to recover. They hope we'll find common ground with our enemies. I guess I'm the guard. Usually the patients mind their manners, or they're in too much pain to cause trouble. But we're all soldiers. When fights break out, I settle them, which means the other patients don't really open up to me. I fought for the Daggerfall Covenant. Even before the war, I marched under its banner. Now here I am, guarding this hospice as an unknown malady torments the minds of their fellows. I guess their suspicions are only natural. Like the others, I fought for my king, until I caught a spear in the gut. I laid in the mud for hours, before an orc shaman found me. She dragged me back to camp. I ended up in a Breton infirmary. That's when I got the offer. A representative of the Society came to my bedside. Told me about a noble plan to foster peace in Tamriel. She described how I'd recover alongside my enemies. I thought it sounded overly optimistic, but who turns down a stay by the ocean? Oh, I dream of peace, friend. I've seen too many friends killed, and too much blood spilled to wish otherwise. But I also know that the powerful crave more power, and they don't seem to do much of the fighting or bleeding for it.
I was told they weren't taking new patients, not until they figured out what's going on. Still, welcome to Steadfast Manor. I'd offer a tour, but I don't quite feel up to it. Haven't slept in days. I can barely stand up straight. Affliction? A good word for it. I can feel it wearing away at my mind. After days without sleep, my thoughts are cloudy. I'm a shell of myself. Mender Rosalind's tonics help some. She knows what she's doing. Unlike some here. Master Healer Verlaine only manages the symptoms. He sedates us or just offers comforting words, but he won't seek out the root cause. Rosalind studied this affliction. She believes it's a curse of the humors, but she needs more research. We're not close, but I respect her intellect. With her knowledge of alchemy, she could do anything. She chooses to comfort and heal people. Aiding the weak isn't a choice I would make. But now that I'm in need, I see the virtue of it. I thought I was never going to walk again. A wood elf snapped the bones in both my legs. How the little fellow managed it still baffles me. And again, I can't recall much of the battle where it happened. Flashes of memory and no more. I was carried to the healers, but they had to save their magic for the mortally wounded. So I got wooden braces and some bark to chew on that dulled the pain. My bones healed all wrong, made walking constant agony. Somewhat, Master Healer Verlaine was frank about how I'd suffer more before I healed. They had to re-break each bone and slowly knit them back together. But the pain lessens each day. I can shuffle around now. For that, I'm grateful.
I thought Master Healer Verlaine was clear to Armin. No outsider should come on these grounds. Certainly not inside the manor. You see this man? We don't know what's caused his condition, but it seems all our patients share this affliction. Interesting. Well, he's a good man. If he thinks you can help, then you can stay. But if you start hearing voices or seeing strange things, tell me straight away. A shame that Mender Rosalind's not here to speak with you. We truly need her. I'm afraid not, and that worries me. You see, Rosalind isn't one to abandon her duties, and some patients have vanished as well. Just gone from their beds when we check on them. I shouldn't talk about this. People are upset already.